Welcome to The Explainer. I am so incredibly excited about today's topic because we're doing something a little bit different, and honestly, it's just highly fascinating. Our goal today is to totally reconstruct the absolute chaos of the March 18th, 2026 release of Boruto Chapter 32. But here's the twist. We're going to understand the story, the stakes, and the utter panic of the characters using nothing but the digital footprint of the fans and the VIZ platform itself. That's right, we are doing a full digital forensics explainer to uncover exactly what went down on that battlefield.
Okay, let's dive into this. Here is the structured roadmap for our forensic investigation today. We'll start with number 1, inside Shonen Jump Online. Then 2, analyzing the Mamushi threat. 3, the hero's fumble. 4, fan theories and frustrations. And finally, 5, the digital fine print. We are moving right from the surface of the platform straight down into the deepest, darkest fan theories.
Starting off with Section 1, inside Shonen Jump Online.
Right, so before we hit the chaotic comment section, we really have to establish the digital ecosystem where this specific fandom lives. We have to look at the heavy-hitting Shonen Jump neighbors Boruto sits alongside right there on the VIZ platform menu. We're talking absolute titans: Naruto, One Punch Man, Jujutsu Kaisen, Bleach, Pokemon, and the Eterniverse. It is a crowded, fiercely competitive digital neighborhood. Every single reader navigating to Boruto is constantly aware of these other massive hits just a click away, and that sets a tremendously high bar for action and pacing.
Which brings us to Section 2, analyzing the Mamushi threat.
And this brilliantly illustrates the rapidly escalating conflict interpreted entirely through the reader's panic. Just look at this terrifying timeline of the battle's deterioration based strictly on user observations. At the start, the threat seems kind of manageable, right? Under 50 clones. But within just 3 minutes, it explodes to over 1,000 clones. By the end of the sequence, the heroes, their so-called aces, have completely reached their physical limits. The sheer speed of this collapse is what literally lit up the digital footprint. 1,000 plus. I really want you to just sit with that stark number for a second. This is the amount of clones the villain Mamamushi created ad infinitum. Imagine the staggering scale of this threat. This isn't a traditional one-on-one ninja duel. This is an overwhelming, exponential flood of enemies that completely broke the battlefield in a matter of minutes.
To truly emphasize the authentic, real-time shock of the community watching this disaster unfold, we just have to read this exact quote from user JutsuManiac456. They said, "It's crazy how fast this went south. Went from under 50 to over 1,000 in like 3 minutes." That single comment perfectly captures the absolute whiplash the audience felt in the moment.
With a threat this massive, we hit Section 3, the hero's fumble.
So, let's look at the community's harsh critique of how the main characters are handling or, well, totally failing to handle the Mamushi crisis. The readers have documented 2 massive letdowns. First, Kawaki's failure. He is overheating and completely gassing out exactly when they need a heavy hitter the most. And then there's Sarada's failure, totally fumbling the big move. Now, commenters like Chifi Oo actually give Sarada a slight pass, noting she unfortunately lacks an Uchiha mentor to teach her the drawbacks of her powers. But for the rest of the squad, the fans hold absolutely zero excuses for fumbling this hard. It all really gets distilled down to this wonderfully blunt summary from user Degenerate, who just writes, "LMFO, Sarada and Kawaki both blew it." It's so direct, but it shows exactly how the fandom feels about their supposed heroes right now. All the hype, all the preparation, and when the clones actually show up, they just blow it.
And to inject a little bit of dark humor into the bleak situation, check out this incredible fan description by user Imans. Meanwhile, Temu Jiraiya just aura farming. I mean, what a perfectly modern, hilarious way to describe another immensely powerful character just standing around doing absolutely nothing to help while the entire world practically burns down around them.
This deep frustration pushes us right into Section 4. Fan theories and frustrations. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how user PrimalX3 breaks down a genuinely terrifying theory on how Damon's powers actually function. They deduce it's a Shinjutsu-level ability, reflecting damage instantly, based purely on killing intent from afar. But here's the kicker. The fan theorizes Damon might actually need to physically touch his sister to extend the range of this devastating power. It's fascinating, right? You've got readers acting as forensic analysts trying to map out the exact mechanics of the story while the heroes are out there losing. However, despite these incredibly high stakes in the narrative, the digital footprint reveals fans are highly critical of the technical execution. User Markman09 complains the plot is moving at a snail's pace, claiming nothing has actually happened in 6 chapters. Goat Llama points out that the speed lines are completely cluttering the art, and Inalytic just bluntly states that Damon looks ugly as all hell on that cover. So the characters are fighting an apocalyptic threat, and the readers? Well, they're actively fighting the pacing, the messy art, and the character designs? This mechanical frustration eventually bleeds into true existential dread for the readers. Look at this powerful quote from Chiefy00. Does the author know where he's going with all this? This chapter feels like he's spitballing as he goes. The community isn't just worried about the characters surviving anymore. They are actively questioning if there's actually a solid, pre-planned direction for this entire Boruto versus Kawaki narrative.
Which brings us to our final stop. Let's zoom all the way out for Section 5, the digital fine print.
We're moving from life and death ninja battles to the literal web page hosting them. Just juxtapose the chaotic, world-ending manga plot with the rigid, perfectly mundane steps the VIZ platform requires just to sign up for their digital newsletter. Step 1, provide your email. Step 2, enter your full name. Step 3, select your birthday. Step 4, choose your interests. It is an incredible contrast. The ninja world is drowning under 1,000 clones, and we are safely sitting behind a screen, carefully selecting our birth month from a drop-down menu.
So, the crucial point is the deeply ironic reality of this digital footprint. While the ninjas are literally fighting for their lives in the foreground, VIZ is quietly operating in the background. Strictly necessary cookies are logging you in, performance cookies are tracking the massive traffic spikes from the fans' panic, targeting cookies are building your advertising profiles, and social media cookies are tracking your panic across other sites. The heroes are getting decimated, and the platform is just quietly optimizing its data collection.
We'll conclude our explainer today by echoing the most bleak, lingering question from the community, specifically from users like Hero2Anime and The Reborn Expert. As Chapter 32 closes with exhausted heroes facing overwhelming odds, the ultimate question remains. Is someone finally going to die? Will the upcoming Chapter 33 cross that line? The digital forensics tell us the fans are absolutely bracing for the worst. So what do you think the data will show next time? Thank you so much for exploring this with me.